Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, because I think we have people from different time zones. Thank you for joining our today's webinar. My name is Rafał Barnowski. I represent Dynamics Development Center, a Gold Dynamics partner operating in the whole Europe. And today we're going to host with Jacob and Michael, we're going to host a webinar for you about basics of Business Central. We called it Business Central Introductory Training. Before we start the session, let me give you some housekeeping rules. So the webinar will be recorded, and all the registrants will receive this recording as well as the slides that I'll be presenting. The session will last around 45 minutes with a Q&A session on top. So you will hear us, but we will not hear you back. Your microphones will be muted throughout the session. So whenever you have a question, please feel free to use either Q&A or chat functionality. We'll be collecting those questions, and our presenter, Michael, will answer them at the end of the session. So our today's panelist is Michael Słabowski. He's the guy on the picture, not myself. Michael is an experienced Dynamics consultant and project manager. He started around 15 years ago with Navision, then moved to Dynamics NAV and now to Business Central. And today's session is about Business Central. We'll focus on the modern client, the web client. Michael will show you around the interface, so we'll have the look and feel. Then he'll review key modules of the system. Obviously, we'll be only able to give you a glimpse of that. So for those of you interested in a more in-depth presentation, we'll be happy to schedule a dedicated demo. After that, I will be happy to give you some more information about our company, the Dynamics Development Center, and we'll move back to Michael for a Q&A session. So that's it from myself. The recording has already started, as I can see. I will now stop sharing my screen and move over to Michael so that he could provide a Business Central demo for you. Over to you, Michael. Michael, we can see your screen, but cannot hear you.
All right, thank you. I was still muted. Welcome to Business Central Introduction. My name is Michael. I will talk you through some key functionalities, some key features, and to give you a taste and flavor of what Business Central can provide and can do for you. I believe you can see my screen now. So let's start maybe with some technical bits. So what you see here is Microsoft Edge web browser. So Business Central runs strictly in web browser. You can use also some specific devices like tablets, mobile phones, and so on and so on. But the good thing about it is that you don't really have to bother about installing any customer. You just use the link that you've got, and there you go. So just a quick introduction of the data that I will be working with. So today today's demo will be based on Cronius UK Limited company. So this is company based in UK. Obviously, it's not a real one. It's just a company that Microsoft set up for the purpose of the demo. The company does sell furniture and does projects around furniture. So we will get into that business for next 45 minutes. What's important here, we will be working just in one company, but please bear in mind that this is a multi-company system. So in case you've got a set of companies, set of different legal entities, in same country, different countries. You can have it all in one database. So features like intercompany posting, eliminations and consolidations will be very easy to manage. One more thing before we go, this is, as I mentioned, this is a test company. So the test data is set at the end of March 2020. So this means that when I will show you some reports and stuff like that, we will be referring few months back. Okay, so let's get to the point. So let's have a look at this lovely interface. As you can see, it differs a lot from most ERP system that you see. And this is really brilliant. Microsoft really put huge effort to provide small features that, like insights, that are really beneficial and are working amazingly. So let's have a look at first insight. Yes, so this is what we are getting when we open nav. So what we can see that the best-selling item last week, because that's the insight from last week, was Sydney chair. Obviously, it's interactive, so I can click into it, have a look that we sold last week 8 pieces of that chair. I can get straight to the cart. So this is how the chair looks like. Obviously, I can see all the information about it. It's just to give you a glimpse of the functionality, how it can work. Whatever insights we've got, so we know that our top customer last week was really cloud that bought for over 2,000 sterling. So again, this is UK-based company, so our currency is the GBP or sterling. Another one is that we see that this is insight from last month. So the biggest invoice was for over £15,000. If we drill into it, what we see here, that's the list of all the invoices from last month. So it's referring strictly to the period that we had in the insight header. So what if we want to find that particular one, we can easily sort by amount. And this is it. What if I would like to see the details of the invoice? I can use the navigate feature. Now I can jump straight to the document. So I know, or I can clearly see that this invoice is connected to 10 desks, 3 chairs, and 7 whiteboards. I could reprint it, I could email it, save it as PDF, and so it's fully integrated with Outlook and emailing systems. So whenever you think about any documents like sales orders, sales invoices, credit memo, purchase orders, bear in mind that you can email these automatically straight from the system. Also, we see all the entries created in the sales system related to that particular invoice. So we see that there are some general ledger entries created. So these entries are typically connected strictly to accounting. So we've got some posting on the revenue side, we've got posting on COGS account, we've got posting on VAT accounts, and so on and so on. So I will you with this. We can also see that there has been VAT calculated for the document, that customer entries, detailed customer entries, these are used for our receivable modules were done, and also value entry, which is connected to warehouse costing and inventory valuation. You most likely notice that one of these invoices in red, it means that it's overdue. So what can we do about it? Obviously, we can just create email straight to Megan Bond, because as you see in the right side of the screen, I can get directly to the contact person set up for this customer. So I just click the email button, and now I can ask her about, well, kindly remark her about the payment. So as you can see, my Outlook jumped up immediately. Oh, for some reason I can't close it. Sorry for that. But this is the way to go. Obviously, there is full functionality connected to reminders, to a legal notice, which is fully automated. So this is like an ad hoc action. So if I, for some reason, fancy to email somebody regarding particular document or anything, it's easy as that. All right, when we have a look at the activities below, we can see some selected queues. So these are customizable. So you can customize this and select from wide range of queues, providing you information that are really interesting to you. So what I can see here is sales this month. Also, I can see that that some sales invoices are overdue, and so on and so on. What's really nice about it is we can decide about the colors or emphases of a particular value. So, for example, let's focus on sales invoice overdue. I can set up queue rules for this one. So this is whole selection of the queues. So this little thing is that we can you can see. But let's get back to overdue sales invoice amount. Right now, it's set up that if it's below 10,000, there is non-style formatting. If it's between 10,000 and 100,000, this is the style that we've got, like called ambiguous. And if it's over 100,000, it's in red. So just to show you how easy you can adjust it, because depending on the business that you do, these amounts obviously are different. So if we assume that if we've got over 20,000 overdue sales invoices, that's really bad. So you can see that it's jumped into red one. So this way you could work with this data, so you can clearly focus on the stuff that is really relevant, that is important. So these are things that I mentioned at the beginning that are increasing your productivity and make your life easier. So again, what I did, I jumped into the invoices, and now I see the list of the invoices with document number, customer informations, and well, again. So so the functionality is pretty much the same. Anytime I could export this to Excel and work with the data there. It's just pushing the open in Excel button. Okay, so next feature that we've got here, these are tiles. Again, this is something that you can adjust basing on the role in the business. So I'm using the business manager role. So I've got at the moment, I've got overview of everything. So sales, purchases, overdue stuff, and so on and so on. But if some of your salespersons or purchaser or accountant will be working on the system, they will have dedicated view focused on the features that they work on everyday basis. And what I show you later, it's easy to adjust because these views are default, but you can anytime remove features that you are not really interested in and add new ones that you will work on everyday basis. So here I see tiles presenting the total numbers of sales documents. So we've got 2 quotes, 2 orders, and 7 sales invoices being processed. And then we've got ongoing purchase. So similar stuff. Whenever I want to go into it, obviously I can click on the tile and bang, now I'm in the purchase order list, so I see all the POs with the status open. I will talk to you more about purchase orders and stuff later on. So approvals. This is really interesting bit because what we've got here is full workflow functionalities. So you can set up workflows for documents like purchase order approvals. You can also set up workflows for master data, like accepting creating of a new supplier, accepting creating of new customer, approval, credit limit change, approving payments, and so on and so on. Later on, I will talk you through some features regarding workflow, just to show you the possibilities and see how easy it is to set up. So at the moment, you can just notice that I've got nothing to approve, which is nice. Next interesting tile is incoming documents. So at the moment, I can see one document that I'm working with. I'll just get into it. So what I did, I just get invoice from one of our customers, from one of our suppliers, and I created document in PDF and upload it into the system. So whenever I click on it, it will just open. So that's the document, that's the invoice. So what's important here? The message that I'm trying to send you is that we can upload the documents and store them directly in the system as PDF attachment. We can also use links. So if you are using repositories like SharePoint, if you are using OneDrive, Google Drive, or any type of disk storage solution, or even local disk, instead of uploading documents to database directly, you can base on links to external system. Well, key point here is that we can use OCR functionality. OCR is for recognizing the fields in the document. So it improves and speed up processing documents. It scans it. It reads data there, puts it in the certain fields, and so on and so on. We've got dedicated. We had dedicated webinar about OCR continuous solution few months ago, so you can Google it in our YouTube channel and review it, so I won't focus much about it at the moment. Finally, the last tile that I've got here are tasks. So this is really interesting feature. You can use it for managing your task by yourself, or you can also use it for managing and assign tasks to other people. So what's behind it? Right now, I've got no task. Let's say I'm the accountant, and I just want to remind myself that every month I've got to post payroll. So I will just type it in, post payroll. I will assign this task to myself, and I will set up a due date. So let's say we are booking closing September, and we must close. We've got 5 calendar days to close September, so that we need to do it by the 5th of October. Starting date will be the 1st of October. I can set up priority that this is really high because this is part of month closing procedure. So you could also create like a groups for your task, like month closing, weekly task, and so on and so on. What's really nice is that I can link it to particular part in the system. So I can link it to the page, which will be used for entering journals documents. So I know that this page is called General Journal. So I will just select this one and click OK. I can also define the recurrence for this task. So I can say that recurring starts 1st of October. Recurring is 1 month, so every month I will be reminded about it. Please mind that we can use different date formulas, so we can use 1 week, 10 days, and so on and so on. This is really nice thing. And let's say I want to define 12 occurrences, so I will have it for next 12 months. So I will just click OK, and the task item is set. So as you can see, at the moment I've got 12 pending tasks. I've got the payroll, and the nicest things about it, so if I want to post my payroll, I can just go to the task item. So right now I moved to the general journal, so I can use the general journal to do the booking. I can select the batch. So let's use the monthly journal entries batch for this one. And now I could create a posting or import my posting, because this is like a journal when I can pick accounts, put the amounts, and so on and so on. So I could put it straight from here. All right, finally, we've got, so that's it. If it comes to tiles, again, you can set it up the way, whatever you find it interesting. We've got also some business assistance here. So at the moment, I'm seeing the chart for top 5 customers. When I scroll into the values, I see their sales. But obviously, we can either select charts or switch between these. So I'll go to the previous one. So here I can see sales trend by customer group. So we've got 3 customer group: domestic, European Union, and foreign. So we can see that in December, sales was really down, but it's skyrocketed in January and keep that level till March. And well, we are at the beginning of the April, as I mentioned to you, because this is our demo company. So this is basically how it looks. And we can also drill down to see what's behind this customer, and our favorite Megan is here. You can also switch between things like you can have a daily view, weekly view, monthly or quarterly view. You can go back, so we can see that November was a bit better than December, and so on and so on. So this is really nice things. Finally, for accountants, we can have set up like a trial balance here and get the overview of it. So we can see income from previous month, we can see April income, we can see the margin, operating margin, and income before interest and tax. Again, this is adjustable, so I can get to the documents, so I can see what's the amount behind it. So you can see that the budgeted sales was 33,000 and the real sales is 30,000. We'll talk about it more in a minute. So this is list of all the invoices that we've got. So let's pick, for example, this one, and if I would like to learn more about this document, again, I could use the navigate feature just to see. Okay, so this is Amsterdam lamp invoice to our customer Trey Research. If I would like to see how the Amsterdam lamp look like, I can just have a quick look, and bang, red lamp from Amsterdam. All right, so well, it's really, please mind of all these drill down features. I know it may be confusing when you see it for the first time, but it's really powerful thing. I mean, using this, you can easily get from the high number to the bottom just to check how it adds up, and why we are seeing this descending value. So there is a feature used for timesheets. So if by any means your employee in your business has to report timesheets, we can set it up and have these approved and so on. Now it's also linked with Power BI. I won't talk about this much today, but as you can see, it can be directly linked with Power BI. Really nice feature is the report inbox. So, well, usually when you start your day or end your day, you just run certain reports and have them checked. Thing is that some reports are running for 2 minutes, some for 5 minutes, some for 30 seconds, depending on the report type and the number of data. So the idea about report inbox is that we just set up reports that we would like to see and have them automatically delivered, so we can just open the PDF file. So what we see at the moment is, well, I've got customer top 10 list from yesterday, which was delivered this time. And I've got a new one created today at 7:30, so I schedule it for the morning. I didn't even had a chance to open it yet, so I will do it right now. And there it is. Yep, so this is the top customer list. We can see who's the best customer and so on and so on. Please, if you think that this is like difficult to set up, it's really easy. The idea about it is to have everyone be able to do it. So just to give you an example, if I would like to run the report for top stock items being sold, I could add extra filters like dates and so on to run it for a particular period. But what I will do, I will just schedule it. Yeah. So I will schedule it. So it will be created, let's say, every day. So I will put 1D, and I would like it to start not tomorrow, but today. And let's say the expiration date will be end of October. So for whole October, I will have this report created in the middle of the night. So when I come back tomorrow, I will be able to see it. So it will pop up shortly. If I didn't mess up anything, it should pop up shortly in my report inbox. So we will get back to this later. But it's just again to show you the possibilities, just to show you the feature. Okay, so as you noticed, I just used this search bar, so it's really convenient tool if you know or at least have idea what are you looking for. So if I want to see my customers, I just type in customer. Oh, you see, I did a typo. I can jump straight to the customer to create a new one, or I can go to customer list, and there it is. If you've got a feeling that you can see that the top 10 inventory report is already here. It's bolded and black, so I didn't get a chance to open it yet. And there it is. Obviously, we can preview reports, save them to Word, Excel, PDF. So this is just the convention that I'm using. But please bear in mind that every single report can be saved in Excel file, in Word file, or in PDF document, or just previewed so you can have a look at it at the screen once it's done. Right, so I just talked you through these search windows, but if you, most likely many of you are used to seeing many like this one. So this is, as I told you at the beginning, I'm a business manager, so this is my key features that Microsoft set up for a business manager. So I have a glance at purchasing, finance, and so on and so on. But also I can switch to explore whole system. So right here, I can see, I will collapse all. I can see all modules of Dynamics Business Central. So as you can see, we've got, well, administration. So this is mainly about user rights and stuff. Finance, so strictly finance module that I will talk you through in a minute. HR, which are not very sophisticated, pretty much straightforward, soft HR system. Manufacturing, projects, purchasing, resources, sales and marketing, services, and obviously warehouse. So if you've got a feeling that you would like to explore any bit of this, you can also get into it, drop down, and see particular features standing behind it, and just run it. So it's just another way to finding things, which at the beginning I believe it's maybe even more easy for you guys than just using search bar. But believe me, I mean, whenever I want to open sales orders, I just type it in because I don't want to go to one menu and so on and so on. Obviously, nice thing about it is bookmark. So if, for example, I would like to add sales order as a bookmark, so I don't have to even type it in every single time, I just use this bookmark button. And as you can see, the bookmark was added. So now I've got sales order right here, and I can jump straight to this. All right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about finance module, because I believe finance bit is like heart of every ERP solution. So what we've got behind it. So let's start with the chart of accounts. What we can see here is the sample chart of accounts created for our Cronus UK company. So we see the list of accounts, we see the names, and we see the balances. We can just scroll down to see it. As you can see, it's not a really big one. So we've got our revenues account split it into service, product sales, job sales, discounts, and so on. Usually in your businesses, this can be very detailed, split it per customer groups, per product groups, and so on and so on. Why this one is so small or not really very detailed? It's because of the dimensions. So one of the very powerful features that you can use throughout the systems are dimensions. What are these? In our demo database, we've got two dimensions set up. The first one is department. So department is used for recording our expenses. So whenever we are receiving, reposting anything connected to expenses, we want to add information if the cost is connected to administration department, production department, or sales department. So doing this way, we don't have to create any expense accounts split per every single department or cost center or whatever you call it, because there are different names across different businesses. But we could use this one as a cost center, for example. So then we've got customer groups. So this will be used for our revenue and income accounts, also for COGS, so we can track the margin per customer group. So let's have a look what values we've got here. So it's we've got 3. So our customers are divided into small business, medium business, and large business. Obviously, you can create many more. So you can create like a product group dimension. And here we could go into and define any values. So let's say we can create furniture and so on and so on. Yeah. Usually it's usually you would use some codes like, I don't know, 100 F, so that would be furnitures and so on and so on. So, but that's really to give you the idea. So there is unlimited number of the dimensions that you can use. You can define rules of using these dimensions separately and together to exclude some combinations and so on and so on. So I'm just pointing to this topic. So getting back to the chart of accounts, if I click into the product sales, what you can see here is the list of all the invoices. All lists here are customizable, but I can also have the overview per dimension. So right now in columns, I see customer group, department, and product groups. Unfortunately, I can't see any values here. Well, for some reason, Microsoft did not provided any of these sample transactions with dimensions. But what you would see here would be the details about the customer group. So let's say this could be large, this could be small, and so on and so on. So really, all you need to do when you set up an account or at the beginning of the project is to say that for this account, we won't use maybe I'll just show how so what we could say is that for this account that we would like to use certain dimensions. So it's completely up to us. So we can jump into the account card. So this is our revenue account where we can see plenty of setup. So things about posting rules, about consolidation, reporting, cost accounting, and so on. But just to finalize on this dimension thing, so I can say that for this particular account, I can say that customer group is mandatory dimension. So this means that no one will do any posting to this account without putting customer group value. Obviously, when setting up a new customer, we can create a dedicated dimension and assign it to it. So that's really it. Okay, we've got also nice features here around budgeting that you may find interesting. So if I will use the search just to show you GL budgets. So what we can do, we can create sales budgets, we can create cost expenses budgets, we can create these for yearly periods and so on. So just depending on our needs. Obviously, these are linked with the dimensions. So what I will do, I will just show you our expense budget. So what's important here, I'm selecting the income. So no, sorry, I would like to see only the expenses account because this is expenses budget. And you can see the view here is filtered. So I see that our rent expense account is budgeted for 1,100 for every single month. If I scroll down, I can also see that there are salaries budgeted also 1,100 per month. If I would like to see the details of this, because this is like a total, I can just drop down and I could see the details connected to things like dimensions. So maybe I'll make it a bit bigger. So now I can see that 220 is budgeted to administration, this is budgeted to production, and so on and so on. So this is like a lower level of the details. Nice things about it is we can enter data straight here. As you can see, that's pretty easy. But we can also use the features for Exporting it to Excel, we can work in Excel there in a dedicated template and then import it back. We can also copy existing budget, create ones about based on the real ones. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is the list of items. So items are like SKUs that we are working with. So these are all the stuff that we sell, that we buy. So that's the list of full items. So we can see unique code, we can see descriptions, and so on. There are really many features around this in the item card. So things connected to, obviously, things like pictures, but also things connected to costing methods, to pricing, to replenishment, because there is whole functionality about automatic replenishment. Planning is also strictly connected to that one. Item tracking, so this is all about traceability. So whenever you are working with lot numbers, with serial numbers, you are in food business or anything else, any kind of business that use lot and batches number, this is perfect for you. And obviously warehousing, so if you are using WMS functionality, which is within Nav, you can base on this. We've got some really nice views here. So this is the list, but I can switch it to tiles. So this is perfect for new person in the business. So if they've got no idea how Mexico chair looks like, they can have a quick glimpse at this. Also, we can use even bigger views. So this could be nice if you are working with your phone or with a tablet, because then you can quickly click into it. But I'll just get back to the list. The really nice thing about it is that you can create different kind of views and different kind of filters. So for example, if I would like to limit this list to see only chairs, I can select that I want to see chairs. Yeah, you see this is limited. Now I can save this view. And I can just easily switch between views. So right now this is for chairs, now this is for all items. So this is really, really handy. Yeah? I mean, this list is not that big because it's maybe around 20 items, but I believe in your businesses you're working with hundreds, thousands, or even hundred thousands of SKUs that you can do. All right, so I believe this would be like a quick presentation of the features. So what I will do, I will just get back to our menu just to talk you through some functionalities that I didn't address yet. So if we are talking about finance, obviously you had a quick look at the general ledger. There is cash management, cost accounting features, so you can use it for detailed allocation of your cost and splitting it to different levels. So this is like a little bit separated from general ledger. This is for like management accounts, not strictly for financial accounting. Then we've got everything about receivables, payables, fixed assets, also inventory, and all the stock. Manufacturing module, I won't talk much about it, so because it's all about production. So we've got production orders, production bombs, and functionality related to planning and things like this. Project. So if you do any type of projects, maybe I'll just go quickly to one job. So our company, what it does, it does a project that are connected to creating and fitting houses. So we've got 3 phases of the project. So planning and creating specs, demo, installation, and final review and close of the project. So there are some budgets of the cost. There are budgets for sales figures for our revenue. So it's really nice and interesting one. It's strictly connected to the warehouse, also with planning the time of our staff, so whoever works on the projects can use it. Purchasing, so this is about creating POs, getting supplies from our vendors. So we've got like blanket orders features here. So when we would like to order something and it's repetitive, we can use this. There's also whole feature around order planning and automating ordering stock items for you, obviously costing and stuff. Then we've got warehouse. So this is all about items, about spacing in your inventory. So warehouse is used for multi-location. So if you've got several warehouses, you can work with this. Also, you can use WMS solutions just to use the scanning, just to do the picking, to do put away, and all warehouse things related to it. Obviously, then stuff like stock take or counting, this is also included in the package. Resources are strictly connected to project or service module. So these are our people or machines that we are using in projects and service. So this is pretty much it. And finally, sales and marketing. So as you can see, this is a pretty huge one. So we've got features here like customers, like contacts. We've got salespersons that can be assigned to teams. We can create tasks related for these guys. Then also record opportunities just to see how sales is going and what we've got there, and keep track of won and lost opportunities. We can also handle sales budgets and then review these budgets using analysis reports. Finally, there is whole functionality around order processing. So this one starts with quote, then we've got sales order, which ends up with shipment and sales invoice. There is again some order planning features and things around that. We've got some information about marketing, so we can use contact, create campaigns, create segments. I already mentioned opportunities, but this is really very straightforward but very robust marketing module that you could use. And finally, pricing and discounts. So there's huge variety of price groups setup that you can set up, sophisticated functionality about discounts, so line discount, invoice discounts, also things like prepayments and stuff like that. So this is really it. All right, so I believe that you enjoyed it. As told you, that's really very quick overview of the features. I can see that some questions arise, so I will answer this in a minute. If you would like to explore the system a bit more, if you would like to learn about particular features or just have a dedicated demo, just please let us know. So thank you very much. Over to you, Rafał.
Yeah, thank you, Michael, so much for this part of the session. Now I will share back my screen. Yes, as you have noticed, there are a couple of questions in the Q&A sections. I tackled some of them, but there are some that still need to be answered. So if you could have a look at them, that would be great. By the way, this is also a good chance for all of you guys to ask the questions that maybe you have still on your mind. Now I'll just need 2 or 3 minutes to introduce a little bit our company and also give you an update about our future webinars, because actually today's webinar is the first of the series that we're going to have this autumn. So we at Dynamics Development Center are a gold partner across ERP implementations. We, as you could see, focus on Business Central ERP. We are also part of EIP Group, which is one of the biggest Dynamics partners in our region in Central Eastern Europe. We have more than 60 employees and more than 20 experts with at least 10 years of experience. And what we actually pride ourselves in is that we are a truly international partner. So you can see the European map right now, and there are just a few of the countries that we are not yet doing projects in. It's not yet, I assure you. So yeah, when it comes to future webinars, you can pull up your phones now if you wish, because we'll be providing QR codes. This QR code will lead you to the landing page of the webinar where you can register. In the first webinar, our consultant Mateusz, and the webinar will take place 2 weeks from now. Our consultant Mateusz will talk about continuous document capture solution. This is a system add-on for Business Central and for Dynamics NAV, which lets you to analyze invoices with OCR engine, and then to insert specific data from the invoice into specific tables and fields of Business Central system. So Mateusz will talk about this OCR solution 2 weeks from now. 4 weeks from now, our consultant Łukasz, who is an expert in Power BI, will give you a case study about one of the customers where we implemented like a whole suite of Power BI reports. We'll be having this webinar with one of our clients who agreed to join and share actually how they are using Power BI reports connected into their existing Dynamics NAV system. And then towards the end of November, I will have a session about development outsourcing in Business Central, because as a company, we not only implement Business Central, but we also help other partners or end customers when they have some problems with availability of developers. We also rent our developers and help to make progress in development projects to our customers. So yeah, over to Michael for a Q&A session. If you have some questions, I just, for the last time, we remind that you can use either a chat window or the Q&A box. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Rafael. So what I'll do, I'll just try to answer as many as I can. So the question is, can you give an idea how customized per company if they are all created in the same database? So as I told you before, so in one database, there can be several companies. And what the customization is, Business Central is a system that can be extended to your needs. So we can create dedicated reports, create dedicated functionalities, add extra fields in a table. So if you would like to use it only per one company and have it not visible in the other one, well, how we usually handle this? We've got huge experience with that because we work with big businesses like Danone, and for example, they do want to see only certain customizations for certain companies. So we've got a master page when you available for every company. And on that page, you can switch on or switch off every single customization. So whenever you add a customization, you must remember about coding this feature in, that you can switch it on or switch it off per company. It's not really time consuming, but it's like a good practice that you would do. The next one is, are the complex finance processes such as intercompany transaction being handled? The answer is yes. So we've got there is full intercompany features within Business Central. What it includes? It includes intercompany setup, so we can set up intercompany customers and suppliers. We can send and post document between companies. So, for example, if I create sales invoice in company A, it can be automatically sent to company B and be booked there as expense invoice. So to answer it, the answer is yes. Then the next one is about budgets. So with budgets, can you link this with purchase orders so that if budget is exceeded, the requester is warned or blocked for raising PO? And this may be unblocked by a finance person, so we can contain budget cost. So not all these features that you mentioned are in the box. So how it works? Obviously, yes, we can create purchase budgets, but there is no automation regarding the control. So the control is manual. So what does it mean? I mean, this means that someone would have to check if PO is not exceeding the agreed budget, and then either approve it, release it, or reject PO, and so on and so on. But however, for some of our customers, we did develop a functionality that, so this is like a customization that allowed you, when raising PO, check the budget and make sure that you not exceed it. So it's not in standard package, but you can customize it. In standard package, you have to control it manually. So this is how it works. Next one is about chart of accounts. So with chart of accounts, can Business Central manage multiple chart of accounts, local and group, and have separate accounting treatment depending upon the accounting standards, domestic GAAP and IFRS level? So this is like group level. The answer is yes. So you can define both local and group chart of accounts. You can set up mapping between these accounts. And at the end of the day, because obviously there are some differences, yes, if there are some differences in posting some particular transactions or documents between local GAAP and IFRS, obviously you would need to handle this. But just to keep it short, yes, it's possible. You can work like this, and some of our customers are using these features. Next one is about warehouse, and the question is, does Business Central handle the total cost of ownership of the item in inventory, including landed cost, for example? So I think the answer is, well, you can definitely record and include landed cost there. If it comes to the total cost of ownership, it's not maybe perfectly in the box. There are some features that you could use, but this to get like a real true total cost of ownership of the item, I believe that could be small customization. But definitely what you can link in the cost is all landed costs, so transport, any type of customs, any types of fees, just to have right value of the product. If you use standard costing, maybe that could be a way to go. There are also some rules for including overheads in this. So there is not maybe feature in the box called total cost of ownership, but there are many ways that or many means that you can incorporate different costs to your inventory. So that's really it. Right. So I believe these were all questions that I've got. So thank you very much. It was a true pleasure to have you here, and this is it for me. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you very much. So we'll be sending the recording and materials by the end of the week to all of you that registered. Thank you one more time, and you are very much invited to our future webinars. Have a good and safe day. Bye-bye.